I got into medicine because something happened in my life, and I thought that everybody should have access to care. My dad had stroke 2000 and year 2000, year 2005, so to say. He had a stroke. We got to this private hospital. They could not take my dad because we didn't have the money. And I promised myself, if I become a doctor, such will not happen in my hospital. Whereby you have to come around, you have to ask for money before they can get to treat you. Yeah, because religion does not allow you to think. It blocks your mind. You cannot ask some questions. And in science, you have to ask critical questions. Spirituality should be one. You should know your God, not because of organized religion that has been bastardized, has been fabricated. A lot of are practicing, and they're using it to assault people to collect money from them, telling them there's a solution to where there's no solution. I promised myself that by the time I get to the age of 25 years, I'm going to get married, so that by the time I'm 50, my son will be 25 years. But on that my birthday, on that 25 year, I couldn't even remember that was my birthday because I had some financial problem. I had to trek from Yaba Surulere to Akoka, no money for. So I sat down and realized that my mother could not support me for this education. I had to start a business in medical school. Besh Foundation is a kind of a sister organization to our hospitals where we have more than 2,000 indigent patients that cannot afford surgical payments. If you believe in people and you are ready to teach people, do you understand? You have time for yourself. A lot of people that are high flying CEOs, manager, they don't care about their head, they're just chasing the money.
Abeokuta, the city of Ake, where most Egba indigents find their survival. A doctor is redefining what it means to serve humanity, not just through medicine, but through sacrifice, philosophy, and unshaken belief in power.
And there cannot be peace without power. You cannot say you are peaceful without strength. It's like someone that cannot, you are not powerful, you are weak. And you said, oh, I don't want problem. If you're actually strong, in fact, you welcome problem. Because in problem, there is opportunity.
Dr Adebesin Lawal, the founder of Besh Life Care Hospital, says his journey into medicine was born from pain.
I got into medicine because something happened in my life, and I thought that everybody should have access to care. My dad had stroke 2000 year 2005, so to say. He had a stroke. We got to this private hospital. They could not take my dad because we didn't have the money. And I promised myself, if I become a doctor, such will not happen in my hospital. Whereby you have to come around, you have to ask for money before they can get to treat you. It happens in general hospitals, it happens in private hospitals. But here, that is one of the stories of my life that made me to become a medical doctor.
A loss that would later shape his mission to ensure others don't suffer the same fate. But the journey was far from smooth.
When I was in year one, I wanted to quit because I have this kind of business background. I'm a marketing person, I'm in sales. I've been helping my mom to up fish, gari, when I was young, as early as the age of 6 years. In fact, I stopped working at the age of 17, 18 years when I wanted to write my jam. So my mom has taught me how to sell. So my passion is selling. Take a product, take a service, tell somebody how to benefit them without, harming them. Then they pay you certain amount of money. You used to build a business. So when I was in year one, I was thinking, what am I doing in medical school? I should be in actuarial science or something says business administration. But because I'm a science student, I realized that medicine, being a doctor, is an avenue to actually penetrate the environment, doing good, and giving service to others. So I stayed. I promised myself that by the time I get to the age of 25 years, I'm going to get married, so that by the time I'm 50, my son will be 25 years. But 25, and on that my birthday, on that 25 year, I couldn't even remember that was my birthday because I had some financial problem. I had to trek from Yaba Surulere to Akoka, no money for. So I sat down and realized that my mother could not support me for this education. I had to start a business in medical school. I started selling shoes, started selling wares, started doing home tutoring, all those Ikoyi estate, Dolphin estate, even as a medical student. And I had a lot of teachers, a lot of people. So that actually changed my, about my life. That if you have a goal, you must pursue it tenaciously every day.
At a point, he almost lost his direction, but a personal awakening changed everything.
Yes, I came from a very, very poor background. And one thing I realized among my family and people is that the poor people, they don't save. When they save, they save. They don't see their savings as assets. They see their savings as something for a rainy day. The poor people, they don't. They want to impress because they don't have. They want to feel that they have. They want to impress. The poor people, they don't know how to say no. They just want to give and give and give. They don't know that they have to be their assets. So that's about saving. Saving is the pathway towards success.
For him, success is not accidental, it is built on discipline, learning, and financial awareness.
Yeah, because religion does not allow you to think. It blocks your mind. You cannot ask some questions. And in science, you have to ask critical questions. Religion will not ask you where this God you are talking about, where is he? Where did he come from? Do you understand? If you begin to ask that kind of questions, you become what do you call it? They can tag you like you are not religious. So religion doesn't make you to think, and I don't like anything that doesn't make me to think. Do you understand? That is why I believe the way they are passing religion now, structured religion, is an impediment to people's thinking and thought. They started. Nobody was born with power. Actually, it's only if you are a prince or a princess. Even with that, if they were not trained within the palace, they are going to lose that power. Do you understand? Anybody can get power. It depends on your motivation, your desire, and your habits. So everybody needs power to survive in this world.
His views are bold, sometimes controversial, but to him, survival in today's world demands more than belief. It demands power.
Corruption is the bane of Nigerian society. Without corruption, democracy, enterprise, and capitalism, I believe in those three things. I call it DEC. And because Nigeria practices those three things, I love Nigeria so much. Those three things, democracy, entrepreneurship, and capitalism, they can make anybody to be wealthy. But in Nigeria, corruption is a problem, whereby the money that's meant for the populace is being usurped or being mismanaged by some, a group of people. Then there can be no development. So I believe in this country. I believe in the politics we are playing. The only problem we have been choosing the wrong people, and I believe the time will come that we are going to get the right people into the right position. So we still just have to keep on going with our democracy.
He believes Nigeria's challenges are deeply rooted in bad leadership, but he remains hopeful in democratic ideas.
No, I don't have any trouble. The only challenge I have is my goals. When you set goals, you don't see challenges. When you don't set goals for yourself, you see challenges. So when you have written down goals, something that a big goal that look at that, that's your future. My future is the future. This is what every day I come here, I look at this, and when I look at this, there's no barrier. If my wife is giving problem, my kids are giving problem, as long as I achieve the main goals, I don't have any problem.
For Dr. Lawal, ambition is personal and relentless.
That's our ambition. We believe that humanity above all. We don't consider religion, we don't consider color, we don't consider tribe, whether you are age or old. Once you are human, it's humanity above all. And I believe in supporting my own black people. A lot of people have left the country because they have greener past over there. But for me, I don't believe I should go to medical school in Nigeria, sponsored by the Nigerian government, and I will use that knowledge to go and help other people that are not my people. So I really want to stay here, help the needy, help the poor, and the indigent with what I have. And that's why for the past 13 years, I've been doing free surgery program, non-paid, paid for ourselves. We have done more than 2,000 cases, no sponsor, no single sponsor. And we are not requiring for sponsorship. We just want to help people with what we can give with our hands.
Beyond philosophy, his action speaks loudest over decades of free medical outreach, changing lives without external support.
I motivate people a lot. I inspire people a lot. I want to be known as an inspirational writer, general speaker, and what I do. My work should have to be inspirational. I want to create a kind of work, kind of life that when you see, it will inspire you to do more than that. That is my own legacy. Yeah, I have a quote by Marcus Aurelius. It says, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take the rest of your life and live it properly." You say it every day. It's telling that yesterday, last year, it has gone. Today, from what you have learned, consider that you are dead. You are just born today. Then live it properly.
A doctor, a thinker, a man driven by purpose, Dr. Adebesin Lawal's story is one of resilience, conviction, and service.
I'm a writer. I'm a speaker. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an athlete. I like fitness. I do a lot of fitness. And this is one of my books. I have 3 books, but this is the available one now. It's called Entrepreneur, Healthy Habits of Balance and Successful Entrepreneurs and High Achievers. It's about habits, healthy habits. A lot of people that are high-flying CEOs, managers, they don't care about their health. They're just chasing the money. But when the money comes, they're not tending to the disease, which is